An on-location episode of the Commodore's quarters, right here at Liedy's Shore Inn on Richmond Terrace in Staten Island. It's been here since 1868. My special guest today here is Bert Levinson. Bert, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's good to see you, Coach.
Good with good friends.
Absolutely. And I'm going to introduce them here as we go around. On my left is Danny McDermott, class of 1962. How are you, Danny?
Very good, very good.
Good. And the gentleman on your left is Bill Wolf, class of 1963.
How are you?
And on his left, this guy's he's younger. He's 1967,
Good.
Junior Barone. And then on Bert's right, Coach's right, I got Larry Liedy himself, the legend, the man, the myth, Lightning Larry. And of course, Buddy Bruin, another Curtis alumni, great baseball player, more closer to the Commodore's age. How you doing today, guys?
Very good, very good. Good to get together.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know, I got this clipboard over here, and Danny's telling me basically get rid of it. But I wanted to cover a couple of points with you guys over here. First off, I want to thank Larry for making this happen. Larry, you've been talking to me about Coach Levinson for a while.
Yeah. Not only was he a coach, he was an educator. He had many kids at Curtis. I'm one of them, and he was a true winner, a great family man, a personality. He had charisma. That there was something about the man, something still about him, and he's a magnet, and he could talk to kids that had problems, and he would solve their problems because they respected him. He was a respectful man as an educator and as a his sports career was phenomenal. He was a good player also, right, Coach? You were catching.
Absolutely.
He always had great catches.
These guys here around this table are known to me as Bert's boys. That's what they were called on the North Shore. If you were one of Bert's boys, you played for Curtis. You guys took care. You took care of one another, right?
Yes, we did. They all took care of one another when they had to.
Good stuff. Now, one of the reasons I think it's important to do this for the community is not to forget this history that's in the Staten Island Sports Hall of Fame. Let's just talk about some of these championships that were won. Let's specifically go back to your era. Danny McDermott is the only high school athlete named the Staten Island All-Dream Team in basketball and All-Century Team in baseball. McDermott was 32-3 as a pitcher at Curtis High School. 32-3. 9-1 in the city playoffs and led the Warriors to back-to-back city championships in 61 and 62. And the third place finish in the city basketball finals, setting a record scoring tournament that stood for decades.
Yes.
How was that experience in high school?
Oh, it was great. It was great. We should have won all 4 years in high school when I was playing.
Yeah.
Sophomore year, I don't know how we ever lost.
And Coach here was your mentor?
Oh, yeah. He was dedicated. He was there every day, taught us what we knew, and I always said, for 4 years he took one day off from practice and we complained.
Yeah.
That's how dedicated we were, and he was also. Without him,
Jack Tracy went to Cromwell to practice on his own. That's when he didn't practice at school.
yeah.
Wow. That's terrific.
Yeah, no,
And Bill?
Yes.
You graduated in '63. I heard an outstanding thing that you once were the senior Olympic racquetball champion nationally.
Well, yeah, I got into racquetball. You got to do something when you get older, and baseball kind of, you lose that, and basketball. So picked up racquetball. It was a great workout, a lot of fun, a lot of nice people. Met, great experience.
That's terrific. I got a black eye and almost broke my nose playing pickleball at the local Broadway Y over here. If you go back on Nobody Cares Sports, you'll find that mugshot.
Let me tell you, he was a great player.
Now, you played baseball as well?
He was good at that too.
And what position did you play?
Second and short.
Second and short. Junior Barone?
Yes,
Baseball player?
yes. Played second base.
Second base. Buddy Bruin.
Buddy Bruin, shortstop.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lightning Larry.
Junior didn't say one thing. The All-Star team started in 1966. That was the first All-Star team on Staten Island. Junior was the first year All-Star as a junior at second base, which was impressive. And he took care of me at Curtis. He watched over me, and we were good friends. one of the best Kiwanis grasshopper players in history. Couldn't
Really?
get him out.
Grasshopper League. There you
Flickers,
go.
we couldn't
Now,
beat.
there-
2-1,
there's
son of
a fella
a
named
gun. Billy Brown.
There's a fella named
yeah,
Sonny
Brown.
Roberto whose name keeps coming up that I hear about, and
sure.
everybody went, ah. Tell me about Sonny Roberto.
Yeah,
Sonny, I met him in West Brighton when I was a kid, about 10 years old, playing, and he was catching, and I got to know him. He lived there in the Markham Homes. I used to go out to Merrill Field. So we had a team on Stapleton, the Shicks, and I was pitching. We didn't have a catcher. Nobody could catch me. So I had to tell my coach, I said, there's a kid named Roberto in West Brighton. I said, we got to get him to catch me. And that's what we did. We went on and won the state championship.
There you go. And he went on to the major leagues. He had a great
Yeah.
career with St. Louis, right, Larry?
Yeah.
I believe so,
And
right?
he was my catcher in high school. It was great pitching
Right.
to Sonny.
And you also had a career with Cincinnati, I think. You had
Yeah.
3 years in AAA ball or
No,
something
not
along
triple
those
A,
lines?
double A I made.
Okay.
But my back and then my shoulder, and that was the end of my career.
Okay. It happens along the way, right?
Yeah.
And Bill?
I went on to play Wagner College. I played baseball and basketball there. And had 4 good years up there.
He's in the Wagner College, Grove City.
He's in the Hall of Fame
Yeah.
up there, right?
Wagner,
Yeah.
all everything at Wagner, from what I heard.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
what I heard.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
his next thing is he'll be in the Staten Island Hall of Fame. Mark my words.
It was a lot of fun, and Bert helped me actually
Yeah.
get in. At the time, Chester Salito was the coach up there, so that was the connection. And he would talk to Chester and say,
Chester,
give
yeah.
this kid a scholarship. And
Yeah.
I remember Chester Salito when I was at Curtis High School.
Yeah.
He was teaching there,
Oh, he taught
and
there, yeah.
we really didn't realize who Chester was and what athlete he was because he was given the task of being a drug counselor in Curtis in the 1970s, which was crazy.
it's good
So, but he was the
football
right guy. He knew the ins and outs. Yeah,
was
good
great.
guy.
Good guy.
Yeah, good stuff.
You know his brother Slats, Joe Slats? he was good at playing cards. He was Junior's buddy, right? Slats.
So it seems to be like second base was a really big position back in those days. I mean, you're a second baseman. You're a second baseman.
Well,
As a second baseman, and we talked about earlier today, right? You had a stint in the minors as well, didn't you, Larry?
Yeah, a little cup of coffee. I got hurt.
You did, huh?
Yeah, I was there for a little while.
Yeah, that's
Couple of
the,
months.
listen. That's what happens, folks. With baseball players. Billy Cali, also a member of the Staten Island Sports Hall of Fame, told me that per mile, per capita, back in the day when these gentlemen were playing ball, Staten Island sent more men on to play professional baseball. I'm not talking necessarily into the major leagues, but professional baseball at all levels than any place else in the world. And when you think in today's world, how it's globalization, we bring in players from all over, in the Dominican Republic, which is a big feeding system today. But Staten Island at one time was it. So hooray for all you guys. You really kept the
And
game
Staten
of baseball.
Island was a small community also.
Yeah.
At that time.
Right. Now, what about this guy, Terry Crowley? Did he play with you guys too?
Oh, yeah, Terry, sure. Yeah, he could hit.
I was just gonna say to Danny, he played on the team with probably the best hitter I ever saw on Staten Island at that time that they were playing. He could get up the bat, and he would in the city championship games, home runs
Yeah.
in Ebbets in the field.
Ebbets Field?
Not Ebbets Field.
Bakerfield,
Bakerfield.
Columbia University.
Columbia
Okay.
University.
Oh, yeah.
Home runs.
Yeah.
This guy used to hit the ball every time farther than anybody else in any place in the stadiums. No kidding. And he had the ability to do it, and while he was a pitcher, he was the ability to do it also as a batter. And then we had a couple of other catches. Frank Fernandez.
Yeah, there you go. There's
Played-
another name,
Played
yeah.
with the Yankees for 97 years. or
I
9 years.
remember. And Terry Crowley went on to become the hitting coach for the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, he did. He lasted. And also the hitting coach, and he also played 15 years on a varsity on a team. So he played 30 years at Baltimore.
Wow, that's a 30-year career. Curtis High School graduation. Listen, I'm not out there, taunting Curtis High School. This just happened. We're talking
Minnesota.
baseball. Today, Major League Baseball resumes after the All-Star break, right? We've all seen some of the changes that have taken place. I think that the players are happy to get past this All-Star game and into the second half and start playing ball as much as anyone else. What do you guys think of the second half coming up in baseball? You guys following baseball today? Or is it like, we're done? What's happening?
I don't follow it.
Yeah, I follow it.
You do?
Yeah, and Boston looks like the team this year.
Yeah, Boston looks tough, huh? They always seem to come back and cause nonsense with us. Right? A guy named Jerry Remy, right? You remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
You got a funny story to tell, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know if I should tell it.
Oh, man. Nobody cares, Larry.
Yeah. No, this kid Billy Smith comes into town with spring training. He's a white kid that liked black music.
And you're in spring training?
Yeah, in the
Where?
Angels, California Angels, Holtzville.
Okay.
And I love black music. I like
Right,
James
yeah.
Brown, Otis Redding.
Absolutely.
And I said, can I come to your room and listen to your tapes? He was a big bonus baby. He got $500,000 bonus.
$500,000 bonus. What year was this?
1972. I was drafted in 72.
Yeah.
And I listened to James Brown. It's 8:45. I'm not supposed to be in the curfew is 9 o'clock. I'm listening. All of a sudden, this guy jumps out of the bed and punches me in the fucking face.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Bleep.
And it's Jerry Remy. I jumped on top of him and beat him up. And then he made the majors and I got released 2 weeks later.
Yeah, Jerry Remy. Yeah, he went on to make the All-Stars, and he became a nemesis for the New York Yankees back in the day at second. And the reason I brought that up was here was another second baseman, you know. And Larry, thanks for telling that story, man.
Yeah, bro.
I always tell you, man. Listen, I grew up on the North Shore over here, and this was whispered in my years ago. And I'm going to tell you the story that I heard. The legend is that you broke Mickey Rivers' nose in spring training, and you know, we all had the reputation, and Mickey Rivers was so bad that his wife had to go pick up his check at Yankee Stadium at a certain point over there. And then it was like I heard Larry broke his nose. I thought that was funny. And I know that I should tell this story, but I love the man, the myth, the legend. I want to thank Larry for putting this together for us here today as we sort of wind this down. But before we do, you guys want to give shout-outs to anybody out there that you played with that say, hey, how you doing? Your grandkids, anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody want to give a...
Yeah,
Hello,
Joe,
too.
Yeah, Joe Cipoletti, our shortstop. Haven't seen him in years. He lives down in the Carolinas now, and he was a great shortstop for us.
There you go.
And we haven't heard from Terry Crowley in a while. So
Terry Crowley, all right,
hope he's doing all right.
we'll give a shout out to the Orioles and we'll see if we can get Terry to get back to us. And Buddy?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that I'm honored to be with all you guys. I kind of feel out of my league because you guys are legends. And I just
never feel out of your
happened
league.
to be driving by and I saw Larry. He said, "Come on in. I want you to meet some guys." But Curtis Baseball, thanks to Bert Levinson, was a big memory of mine, and it's it stays in my heart, Curtis. And thanks to Mr. Levinson, as I still call him, and probably always will.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
We always called him Bert.
Yeah.
he was.
He was younger. He wasn't as hard. He was tough on us.
I thought he was old.
Sometimes, guys, I hear people say that there's like 3 men or 4 men in your life that change your life.
Right.
And Bert was one of those guys in my life that changed it, the way I played baseball. He not only was a coach, he was a friend, and he was
He's good people.
Good man.
Good people.
All around.
He was good.
Listen, I want to thank everybody for listening to today's episode of the Commodore's Quarters, only on Nobody Cares Sports Network. And I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Seppi Pizzeria, of course, the Dr. Theodore Atlas Foundation, and LeBron Team Realty as well. And I can never forget me lads at the Ocean Yacht Club, right, Larry?
Oh, no boats. You got no boats.
We
down
got no boats. We're all good. I'm the Commodore. I'm out of here. See you next time.